Welcome guys! Today I have for you a Karstens Model K11. This machine is wired for 220 volts. And we'll just get right into it. Starting off with our power. This is going to turn on our hydraulic tank, which is in the back of the machine. We also do have a coolant tank as well in the back of the machine. And then when you're ready, you could go ahead and press 0S4D, or the white button right next to it, and that will turn on our control panel right here. If you want to bring us a little closer to the control panel, I'm going to describe a couple things about it. This is going to tell us what kind of feed that we're doing, how much, so on and so forth. So this top portion right here is going to take care of your traverse cycles, being a bunch of different feeds right here. You got your coarse, fine, I believe this is your measuring gauge, and then you have your spark out, and that's going to be the same thing on the bottom, but this is for our plunge, and this is for our traverse like I mentioned. So with this light illuminated, that means that we are in a plunge cycle. If it's not illuminated, then we're ready for a traverse, and we could choose which sides we'd like to feed on. And then all of our lights telling us that we got the proper voltage and that we're ready to go for a cycle. This button right here will retract our head. I don't want to do that right now because I might just pass the proximity switch and just add a little bit of time. So with that being said, we're just going to go ahead and start off with our traverse cycle, feeding on both left and right. If we want to back up just a little bit, this is going to be all of our buttons that control everything, being our wheel head, work head, so on and so forth. This machine also does have an ID spindle, which I'll get into shortly. So get that grinding wheel going right now. And with all that being said, we're basically ready for a cycle. This is going to open up our table when we're ready. And then we could go ahead and press our green button, ready to cycle down. So in the middle, we do have our speed knob to slow down our machine or make it faster. And then we have our Terry or dwells for both left and right. As you can see, we're dwelling for a couple seconds, and then it's going to back off. And I could do the same thing for that side as well. A little bit of a dwell, so I'm just going to turn these off. I'd like to go over this joystick right here, and that's going to run our head while it is in cycle. So if we were to pull up, the machine will feed its head backwards, as you can see. Down will bring us closer to our piece. And then if we go off to that side, we do have a micro feed. I don't know how well that the camera is picking it up, but we are micro feeding. And then this is just another feed. Let's go back over to the micro feed. As you can see, we're very, very slowly moving. So get back into regular cycle. Right next to that, this is going to be the clutch that does run our hand. When we are in cycle, we do want the clutch to be on. And as you can see, back up over here, we do have our first light set. I will speed it up just a little bit so you can see this going over, switching on over to our fine feed. So as you can see, right now we're in a fine feed. That's going to read off whatever numbers that we have set over there. And then it's going to finish off with a spark out. So I'm just going to let this run out. In the meantime, we will talk about our ID spindle. I will show this running at some point more towards the end of the video. There is a lever right here that you could loosen up. And with a little bit of force, you could just spin this wheel 180 degrees until you reach this sensor right there. And then we also do have a airlift system, so we could manually drag our head in and out. As you can see, we did hit our spark out cycle, automatically retracted, and we're ready to go. So with that being said, I'd like to demonstrate the air pressure that lifts up our head so we can pull it with ease. Right over here, there's a little knob, and when you hold it down, that cylinder off into the back end will provide air, and you'd be able to bring this head in just like that. Again, I'm not going to deal with the head swivel right now, only because I do have to move around the table and stuff like that so nothing crashes. But let's get right into a plunge cycle now. So all we'd have to do is just press the digit S12, make sure our table's off, and then we'll press our green button. As you can see, we're going down into plunge, and it's going to do the same thing. Hit a fine feed, and then a spark out, then it will return. This number right here, TSR, that's how far back the head's going to retract when we are done with our cycle. In just a second, you will see it switch on over to the fine feed. And then I do have a quick 3-second spark out on this. Hitting our spark out, and then our head retracts. We do have a 4-jaw chuck right here on our work head. It is variable speed right here. And let's show you the ID spindle now. So if we want to just take a quick walk around back of the machine so I could demonstrate it. Basically what I'm going to do is still hit the wheel button, and when you get the head to swivel 180 degrees out, you will hit this sensor right here. There's a little button right there that I will be pressing to get this spindle in the back working. So if we want to just take a walk back here, these are the pegs that talk to the button that I'm referring to. And then this is going to be your spindle with its own motor right underneath. So I will go ahead and start that up for you. You don't really want to do this. I don't recommend doing this as it is a little bit dangerous. So that is our spindle running right now. If I let go of the little switch that I have right now, the head's going to turn off automatically. But it is just a matter of a little bit of weight and just swiveling the table over in a counterclockwise rotation. So that basically wraps it up for this machine over here. We do have a couple more guards in the back that I didn't set up just for video purposes, but there is the hydraulic tank in the back of the machine along with the coolant tank. This machine does do traverse and plunge, and this is original paint. So again, this is the Karstens K11 wired for 220 volts. Thank you very much.